The sun's out. So, yeah, summertime. We were sitting in the garden the other day and realised that my son and my husband get eaten alive by midges. I don't know what it is. I'm absolutely fine. They get eaten alive. So, after 24 hours of smothering my son in all sorts of antihistamines, I decided to make my own citronella candles. Now, I was going to buy citronella candles, but there seems to be a lack of supply at the moment. I couldn't find them where I was looking anyhow. So I decided I'm going to make my own. So I ordered some wax online. If you don't have wax, it's quite inexpensive. If you don't have wax, sorry, my son's waving at me from the door. Back a minute. You can always chop up old candles. So if you've got all those stumpy bits of candles that you don't know what to do with, generally if they're unscented, better, or you can try musher scents, see what happens. But I bought wax just because I generally use my candles. Just let me check on my wax. That's fine. Okay. And I bought some citronella essential oil. Okay. So it all arrived. I was very excited, and I thought, yeah, we're going to do it. And then realised I hadn't bought my wick. So had a look online and realised that you can use just about anything that's natural, only because you don't really want plastic based, or it's going to it lets off fumes and stuff, which you don't want. So I have some coffee stirrers. Now I have to say these were legitimately bought. These have not been commandeered. These were legitimately bought coffee stirrers. I've also got some string, so I can do a variety. I am going to go with a kind of wood wick feel to them. So what I've done is I've got a variety of containers as well. So you've got your wax, you've got your essential oil, you've got whatever you're going to use as your wick. So you can use skewers, you can use cocktail sticks, you could use embroidery threads if you've got cotton embroidery threads as well. And as I say, or string works quite well as well. Or you can just actually remember to order the wicks, which is really handy. I've laid down greaseproof paper just because it means it's easier to clear up if there's any spillages afterwards. Because after I've finished making this video, my son is going to come in and make a few candles. Right, I've also got some containers. So I've gone with a Kilner jar. Other brands are available, and then just a couple of jam jars. Now you can use glasses, but the problem being is whether or not they can take the heat. Generally food glasses or food jars have been heated up and sterilised before they're sold, so you know they're kind of thicker glass, they can take the heat. And I've got an old tin that I used to have a candle in. I've taken the label off it and I'm just going to reuse the tin. So what I've done is I have, just so I've got a jump start, I've filled this to the brim with wax, and then I've popped it into, I will be back, a Tupperware, well not a Tupperware, sorry, a Pyrex jug. And I've started to melt it in the microwave. So I'm actually going to cheat and use my stirrer to stir it. It's not quite melted all the way down. So at this point what I'm going to do is I am going to pop that in there and pop it back in the microwave. Now that's been in for 2 minutes, but obviously it depends on how much wax you have and how much space you have in your container. Now because I've used my stirrer will now stand up because it's got a blob of wax on the bottom of it, which is quite handy. If you haven't got that, what you can do is you can just use a small dot of blue tack to hold it in place. Again, not conventional, but it works. Okay, so that should be ready now. Yay, just about. Oh, happy. So it started to go clear, so I know it's nigh on fully melted. Oh, looks like I'm flicking wax everywhere. Look at that. We've just done the work surfaces as well. It's going to kill me. I shall work over here. Can you still see me? Yeah. It's not great. The light's too shiny. It's too bright. So I'm now going to add my drops of citronella. So it's that easy. Literally wax into there, into the microwave for 2.5-ish minutes. But again, that depends. Just check on it every kind of 30 seconds or every minute. And I'm just going to put my citronella oil in. And you put in as much as you want. Now, as we have so many bugs and my son is being eaten alive, I'm going to put quite a lot in. I'd like it to be quite strong. Okay, and then I'm going to give it a swirl to make sure it's all mixed up because we want an even distribution. Now if you wanted to, you could put more than one wick into a candle. So because this one's quite big, I'm thinking I might put 3 wicks in. So I'm going to, which is probably excessive, but never want to underplay things. So I'm just going to put little blobs of blue tack on the bottom and press them down. 1, 2, 3. I do have to say at this point, I haven't banished my son from the room. He's decided he wants to leave. And I'm just going to stick my wick, sorry, we shouldn't laugh at that, into there. And I am then going to fill my container with my wax. Now, it's only half filled my container because obviously even if you pack it, now it's up to you, you can top it up again if you like. And if you want to do different colours, you can buy wax dye, which is really good fun. What you can do is you can put one colour in and then you can let it, especially if you're working in glass, and then you can let it go hard and then you can add your other colour afterwards. But I'm just going to leave it like that, and then once it's set, I'll trim down my wicks. You could trim down your wicks beforehand. And that's it. So if you're working with string, I would say dip your string into wax. Just going to sneaky into here to start with. Now you can get all complicated and you can soak it in borax and stuff to give it a better burning style, but quite frankly this works. And then just lie it straight, and that'll just make it easier to handle when you do it. And then again, just a little blob of blue tack at the bottom. You can get the little proper clamps that hold it and all sorts. But if you're just wanting to do really basic candles, there you go. And just be careful your container will get hot. So, bugs away.